It's the last day of the spring split. Joined by Johnny Rue himself, Altec from Winterfox, his little fox cub or something. What are they called? Cubs?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm called the Cub.
But I mean, are like children or like little foxes called cubs?
I don't know. I don't go to school anymore. Jokes. I do online school, but I don't do school that much anymore. Yeah.
I mean, even because you guys are called Winterfox, I felt like you would understand. You would know a little bit about like the fox animal family.
Negative.
Is this something you're interested in pursuing in the future?
No.
It's like your name though.
No.
Yeah, you've got school online. This kind of unique situation. How does that work? With like, do you do scrims and then in between you're like studying? How do you balance the work school situation?
I mean, for me, it's like whenever I'm on the computer, I just want to play. Like, there's like a tiny bit of me. It's like, I have to get my homework done, but it never happens. So like, I just do the super bare minimum. Yeah.
That's not good. You should try to do schoolwork, right?
Yeah. I try.
It's a challenge, right?
It's really difficult because when you lose, you just like, or for me, I'm just like, I just want to get better, so I'm just gonna spend my time playing, Yeah.
It's kind of rough. So I mean, how much longer do you have to do this?
I have to finish courses by June 15th. Yeah.
So sometime around summer split, you'll be completely free of school and you'll be good, right?
I hope so. Unless I'm super lazy, then I'd have to take summer courses too.
Well, try to avoid that.
Yeah, I know.
Just trying to give you some life advice, Your teammates call me Uncle, specifically Helios. And so as your uncle, I guess it's a good idea for me to tell you to try to finish school.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we got that sorted.
You're super successful, so I'd have to follow you. I'm a role model.
Well, I think you're pretty successful. You just beat Coast. So you overcame your struggle because Coast, they've beaten other teams before, such as Winterfox and Winterfox. And so you were able to beat them this time, and so you're improving.
Yeah, we're definitely improving a lot. Yeah. All right, go on.
It's kind of. You don't want to stick around on the Coast conversation?
No, just move on.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about summer split. So you've got spring split, and unfortunately, didn't really pan out. I think the way that a lot of the Winterfox hype masters had predicted. So what happens going into summer? Like, how are you guys going to make sure that you place higher?
I think a lot of it is just like the way we scrim or like how effectively it is. Like a lot of the times we would scrim, but we wouldn't really get much out of it besides like individual practice against LCS teams. So a lot of the times it's like, oh, well, we lost the game in like 4 minutes because they had like 10 wards on our red side and we couldn't do anything, or we don't know what to do. So we just play it out and then we get destroyed. But then the next game we don't really talk about what happened. Yeah. So it's a very slow process right now, but I think given some more time with, because we have a new coach, given maybe 1 month or 2, we should be at least in the middle of the pack and not the bottom.
Are you guys changing the way that you scrim?
Well, we're putting a lot more like our preparation and effort into it. Say like before everyone, let's say scrim started at 1, I'd wake up at 1. But now it's like scrim starts at 1, you wake up at 11 and eat and do all that stuff.
That's good. So a little bit more structured, professional environment. Is that because of the coach? Did he come in and he's just like, wait, we've got scrims at 1 and you just woke up? This is unacceptable? Or how much of it is like on you guys trying to figure out how to improve yourselves?
A lot of it is just coach. Like, he's just very, very, very strict in a good way. Like he's like waking people up, make sure everyone's on time, getting what stuff they need and stuff. So before, like, that didn't really happen because Paragon was just like a friend, I guess. So like he'd just be like, oh well, scrim start at 1. Everyone wakes up at 1. Yeah.
So you needed kind of that like stronger figure,
Yeah.
like an uncle figure almost.
I don't know about that.
Yesterday, we did an interview with a fan, and he has invited us to go eat at his family's Chinese restaurant. Are we going to do this?
Sometime in the future, yeah.
I like the idea of that.
What? What?
I love interviewing Altec because these are just like no other interview that I do, because you've got the super dry sense of humor. We were talking before this about how you used to do a lot of crazy Snapchatting. You've broken the Snapchat like addiction. Was that difficult for you?
Yeah, it was one of the hardest moments of my life. Just unable to send Snapchats to State of the League Travis really hurt.
It's rough, huh?
Yeah, it's very rough.
I miss getting them. Just letting you know that. Now, Altec, let's move on a little bit. Yeah, I mean, so you guys might have the chance to play against Dignitas at the end of this day for a tiebreaker match. So is that like frustrating to you, or you're just obviously I think you're rooting against them. So how does this work out? Like, what's the feeling for the team now that you have to sort of hang out?
Well, normally, well, like I'd love playing more games, but since we're the first game of the day and then tiebreakers are at the end, it's going to be like a super long day if we were to play tiebreaker. So I think no one wants to play a tiebreaker because, as for me, I don't really care who we play in Challenger. Yeah. So
Why don't you care who you play in Challenger?
because I think with the 1 month practice we'd get, we'd like just I'm very confident in 3-0ing, so yeah.
Are you guys watching any of the Challenger teams right now to try to figure out like what the competition is like? I mean, you're very confident, right? Is that confidence from the fact that you think you're going to be doing well, or do you think that there's just no real challenge in the Challenger scene?
I mean, I think there's one team which is Enemy, but the strongest auto qualifiers, which I think they'll just auto qualify. So the others, I don't really care.
How do you feel about the whole like auto qualification purpose or like situation? Like, do you think it's good that Coast is going to go out? I mean, being the only team that has lost to them.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be like, or to be like a really hard split for them. Like, generally, if it's like super close between the bottom, I don't think, like for example, in Europe, they had to play tiebreaker for a 10th. Yeah, and I think that's really bad because they both should deserve another chance. Yeah.
But in the Coast situation,
I still think they should deserve another chance though.
oh, really?
I mean, sometimes like even the weakest LCS teams can probably still beat challenger teams. Yeah.
Even though they only won one game.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Doesn't that kind of imply that Enemy, like if you think Coast is better than Enemy, then that implies that Enemy will come in and go like lose all of their games.
Maybe.
Yeah. Do you think that's a possibility with looking at Enemy? Because you said you're kind of aware of them.
You're just trying to make me say that Coach should be out of the LCS, right?
No, not at all. I'm legitimately asking. No. I'm legitimately asking. Like, I'm kind of curious about this whole thing because, like, I looking at it from my perspective, like, okay, so Coast could won only one game, and so for the people who say like, oh, they shouldn't be auto relegated because maybe they could be better than the challenger teams, it's very hard for me to imagine that there's no challenger team that exists that could win more than one game in the LCS right now, especially because there's a lot of weaker teams, I think. And so that's what's kind of interesting to me.
I agree. I just don't think like the system is that good. Yeah, that's just it.
Just not a fan.
Not a fan of auto relegation.
I'm always kind of curious because some people are less or more interested in it for different reasons. Anyway, Altec, I know that you have to possibly play a tiebreaker and you probably want to watch the dig game, so I will let you go. But is there anything you'd like to say to any of the Winterfox fans out there? Do you have like a name for your fans? I feel like with a name like Winterfox, you should call them like the Winterfox, like Fox Chasers or something. I don't know.
If you don't know, then I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So
I mean, I wouldn't have spent a lot of time thinking about it, but I think this is the kind of thing that where you lay awake staring at the ceiling in your Winterfox shirt, and you're just like, what should we refer to our fans as?
I mean, I think you're wise enough to just like think it on top of your head. So, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But shout outs to everyone that supported us. I know it's a really it's been a really rough season for us. But I think going to the next one, it'll be a lot better for us.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. As always, Johnny Rue, looking forward to getting some Chinese food with you soon. And maybe Peter, who also did that interview with us, not Double Lift, but the Team Liquid coach.
We're both Chinese, and you're just the random dude.
Check out the rest of our coverage of all things LCS at ongamers.com.